This is MA 110, section 3.5. This is the second video in our assignment. Okay, so if a function is one-to-one, then that function must have an inverse. If f is a one-to-one function, then f raised to the negative 1 is its inverse. So what you would say, the way you read this f raised to the negative 1 is f inverse. This is the notation for f inverse. So if f is a one-to-one function, then f inverse is its inverse. Let's make a note here that f raised to the negative 1, f inverse, is not the same as 1 over f. By definition, if f and f inverse are inverses, then if I compose f of f inverse with x or f inverse of f with x, I will get out x. Let's look at an example. F of x is equal to 4x plus 5, and f inverse of x is equal to x minus 5 divided by 4. So I composed f of f inverse of x. So I put f inverse inside of f. I put f inverse inside of f. So I put f inverse in for x. So 4 times f inverse plus 5. 4 times this fraction, x minus 5 over 4, simplifies, and I'm left with x minus 5 plus 5. X minus 5 plus 5, and that simplifies to just 5. Then if I do it the other way, I get f inverse of f of x. So f inverse of f of x. So I put f of x into f inverse. So I put f of x in for x of f inverse. And I get 4x plus 5 minus 5 divided by 4. 5 minus 5 simplifies and leaves me with 4x divided by 4, and that simplifies to just x. And the reason that happened is because 4x plus 5 and x minus 5 divided by 4 are inverses of each other. Let's look at another example, number 35. So f of x is equal to x plus 1 divided by x, and f inverse of x is 1 over x minus 1. So I compose f of f inverse of x. So I take f inverse and put it inside f. This is f inverse, and I put it inside f. So everywhere I see x, I put f inverse. So f inverse plus 1 divided by f inverse. Now I need to simplify this whole thing. So what I did was multiplied both top and bottom by the denominator of the bottom fraction. So I multiplied the top by x minus 1, and I divided the bottom, multiplied the bottom by x minus 1. This x minus 1 times this x minus 1 simplify and just give me 1. And so that's what's here, divided by 1. I didn't write that part. Then the top, x minus 1, is being multiplied by all of this, which is 1 over x minus 1 plus 1. And really, maybe I should put this in parentheses too. That might be clearer. So I have a little mistake here. I didn't put this in parentheses. I should probably have put that in parentheses. I did it over here on this side. So when I do that, I get x minus 1 over x minus 1 plus 1 times x minus 1. That's this x minus 1 distributed to both. When that simplifies, x minus 1 over x minus 1 is 1, and then plus x minus 1 minus 1, those simplify and leave me with just x. Okay, now we do it the other way, which is f inverse of f of x. So I put f of x inside f inverse. So where I see x in f of inverse of x, I put f of x. So I put f and then 1 over f minus 1. So I multiplied both top and bottom by x. So that's the denominator here. I multiplied both top and bottom by x. So I get x times 1, which is x. And then this x multiplies to this fraction, x plus 1 over x, that also multiplies to this minus 1, which is what I wrote over here. Then this x and that x simplify to leave me with x plus 1, and this is minus 1 times x is x. So this x minus this x becomes 1, and I end up with x over 1, which is just x.